Good morning, fellow bonsaists, and thank you for joining us again to another video of the Irregular Bonsaist. Today we're going to be talking about the most basic tools you need in order to do and make bonsai. If you're new to the channel, a new bonsaist, or you just feel that like there is so much to learn, all you have to do is like and subscribe. That's all I need from you. From me, you're gonna get all the knowledge and all the resources I have in order to make your development, and while we're doing this, my development as a rookie bonsaist. Unlike regular gardening, making bonsais requires you to have some more specific tools. But don't worry, we'll keep the list to the minimum and we'll try to make it as affordable as possible. Some of the tools is what they are, a very specific tool for a very specific job. Some other tools can be replaced and bought in a hardware store or a gardening store. Some tools do have to be bought in some more specific stores. Although these days online stores is the way to go. Especially with the lockdowns and the COVID-19, online stores are the way to go. I'm gonna post some of the links to some of the tools we're gonna be talking about. So if you don't have them, you can purchase them, they'll get to your house. Now we're gonna be talking about them in more details. I'm gonna be showing you my tools that I think are essential to do a proper bonsai job or a proper job on your trees or your seedlings or whatever you're working on. Is gonna make your life much easier. And of course, practice, practice, practice. Practice is what makes all of us better. So let me stop mumbling, get an ugly victim, and show you those tools. Alright, as I told you, I would get an ugly victim. This bonsai has no proportions. I grew it from seedling. It has a year and a half. I did some cuttings from it, but really it has no proportions right now. So I have no sentiment showing you guys my tools on it. Alright, let's start with the medium shears, yes? Which you're gonna use for pruning, you're gonna use for cutting. You can cut the tips, you can cut the end of the leaf when you're defoliating, at the base of the leaf. They're very detailed. These are Japanese medium shears, but they're as easily replaceable by some regular scissors. Yes? They cut just as well if you keep them oiled. If you don't wet them and leave them to rust, they will just make the same job. Next, we have some pruning shears. These kind of shears are a must. If you're working with medium and larger trees, or you're working with Yamadoris, you need big shears. You need shears that will cut a thick trunk like this. This has no problem cutting any one of these branches. I'm not gonna do it because I still have some heart. Alright, next one, leaf cutters. They're a little more precise than the medium shears because they're smaller. I have these tiny ones. They're really inexpensive and they do an amazing job. I have 5 or 6 of them. When my kids come on Saturday to work on the trees, these are the ones that I give them. Can also use small cutting tools as long as they have a pointy edge and they really cut at the end of it. Next, concave cutter. These are essential for bonsai. This will cut your branch flush with the tree. Yes. And will leave no mark. Don't worry. I'm taking this and I'm rooting it, and this is gonna be probably a future project. As you can see, it really is flush with the tree. Now, for all cuts that did not heal very properly, you have a knob cutter. Your knob cutter is circular and it will leave a dent in the tree. Oh, sorry. And it will leave a dent in the tree that, when properly healed, will close up and give you a more smooth or less abrupt silhouette of the trunk. All right. Next, we have our wire cutter. Wire cutters are a must. As you can see, wire can really leave a mark on the trees. If I leave this cable for a couple more months, the tree is gonna grow and you're gonna be able to see the marks that will eventually disappear with time on the tree and leave some kind of marking, but not as visual as it is right now. This tool will allow you to cut the wires without really hurting the tree and getting really, really close. Let me see if I can give you a close-up. It really cuts just the wire, and the wire just falls off the tree if you cut it on its circle. Yeah? Next, we have gin pliers. Gin pliers. My gin pliers broke last week. I need to replace them. But this is how they look. They're meant to do work on conifers, on gins, on dead wood. This will allow you to split bark that you wanna kind of rip from the tree. We probably will work on some gins and explain more the technique. But this is the tool for it. It can be as easily replaced by it can be as easily replaced by one of these pliers or a bigger plier. Yeah, you don't really have to buy a Japanese gin plier. As you can see, that one was Japanese and it broke just as much. You just have to be careful and not use it on mega wires that you want to bend and eventually will break your tool. Next, we have a root rake. Yeah, this is a must when you're doing an ebari or root base work. When you pull the tree out of the pot, this will allow you to rake the roots and separate them from each other and spread them on a more horizontal front instead of them going down. Whatever is going down will prune them. But yeah, it allows you to work on the root base and make it circular and nebari-like. To summarize today's video, tools are imperative for the right practice of bonsai. Using them makes your skills improve and your trees grow better. Thanks for tuning in. I hope the video wasn't too heavy and somehow informative. Don't forget to like so I know that you like the content of today's video, and subscribe so I popped on your notifications with new videos from the Holy Land and the Irregular Bonsai. See you guys next time.